No, just screw it. Let's do it. I I am two twisted teas and two bowls deep. And I have wrestled for a while now. How do I make a video about Dazusu or Daz or Dasuzu or Daz Suzu or however I end up saying his name? Who cares? Daz. I remember this was during a period of the endgame shell I was in. Um, there was a lot of destruction of endgame shells around this time. I don't really know why. A lot of the endgame shells were breaking and people were dispersing into other shells. It's just this era of stuff that was going on. I think a lot of people were dissatisfied with how fast or what specific things endgame shells were focused on. And the dissension got to a point where a lot of people just broke up and formed new shells. And around this time, Dazusu joins our reformed version of Moonglow. Now, Dijeki was in charge of that shell. I don't even remember the name of it. I do remember it was a light blue, highly saturated blue color. But the funny thing is that I remember that Daz and Dijeki kind of had the same vibe. Dijeki joined Moonglow, and he kind of took over everything. Daz joined this new reformed Moonglow and basically took over everything. That's my view of it anyway. I don't know if that was the intention. I'm just saying that that's what happened. But Dijeki and Daz were their temperaments were the same. Maybe their star signs were the same. I don't know, but people don't like it when someone takes their spot. I'm the class clown. You can't be the class clown. I'm the teacher's pet. You can't be the teacher's pet. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. People don't like having their social identity opposed by another person, basically. So, Daz and Dijeki did not like each other. But I liked both of them, so whatever. But there was one time on our Link Show forum, I don't remember who made the topic. It was definitely a guy. I guarantee you a guy made this thread. They said, hey guys, let's all post real life photos of ourselves. Guarantee you a guy started the thread. I don't know who it was, but I was like, yeah, sure, I got a digital camera recently. This is when digital cameras were a new thing. This is Final Fantasy XI. This is before smartphones, So I posted a picture of myself, and from that point forward, Daz, he had a certain way of talking to people. He was very authoritative. He was very matter of fact. He was very straightforward. He never sugarcoated anything. Except with me. After I posted a picture of myself on our Lake Shell forums. At that point, Daz basically talked to everyone like an angry, pissed off military training instructor. But whenever he talked to me, it was like Abraham Lincoln talking to one of his pet cats. He would be like, oh, hi, Valesti. How are you today? And he'd be like, get back on White Mage. We need more healers and dynamics. How you doing, Val? I hope you're having a good day. I was like, I feel you, bro. You know what? I don't swing that way, but I don't dislike you for feeling that way about me. That's cool. I took it as a compliment. How else are you supposed to take it? I looked at it as one human being is just like, hey, bro, I think you're attractive. So I was like, hey, cool, thank you. No one ever tells me that before. You're like the first person who ever told me that. So hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Daz and I were always on good terms. I never took any of the things he said personally. I understand where he's coming from. When you're trying to direct this many people, you're going to be pretty short tempered with people. You don't have time to babysit them and coddle them. It's like, hey, you do this now, idiot. you know? That's why I loved him so much, is that he took control of situations and just told people, do this now. If everyone just shuts the F up and listens to me, does what I say, everything will go great. And that's why him and Djeki got into it so much. Djeki wanted to be the one in control all the time. That was his deal. But the reason I remember Daz so much, the reason I'll never forget him, why represent. The reason I'll always remember him is after the Link Shell broke up, after it was like, I'm done with Endgame, I'm done with all this crap, right? I got a Koenig Cuirass, I got all this cool stuff. I'm just gonna go help newbies. I'm gonna go help new people at this point. I still camped Cerberus. It didn't matter if I wasn't in an endgame shell anymore, but I was like, I want to see who gets Cerberus, I want to see what drops they got. So I go check one time. Dry root. Daz's Link Shell, dry root. They have claim on Cerberus. They kill it. And everyone's all asking them, drops, with, tab key, auto translate. And, everyone's like, oh, Algol. So I messaged Daz and I'm like, dude, can I buy that Algol, please? Please let me buy that Algol. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was probably a pretty shitty person for this. I was hoping that since Daz had a huge crush on me, that he would give me like a 50% discount. I think on our server they were going for like 6 to 8 million if you were just like buying them off someone. And Daz ran a good link shell. He paid people based on their attendance, so it was in his interest to accrue gil for the link shell coffer. He was really good about that. Daz was a fantastic leader. Like, I will never say anything bad about the way Dazusu ran link shells or groups or anything. Like, seriously, I utterly respect him as a leader, and just, he knows what he's talking about. He's a very smart person, highly attuned to himself and the people around him, and highly aware of people in situations. Like, Daz was freaking cool, man. But I was a shitty person. I was genuinely hoping it's like, oh, Daz has a crush on me. He thinks I'm pretty. Maybe he'll give me a 50% discount. And then he hits me with like, yeah, sure, I'll sell it to you. 1.4 million. My heart literally skipped a beat. I was like, I thought I was hallucinating. I was like, this is a dream. This isn't actually happening. But I hit him up with a trade. I drop 1.4 mil on him. He invites me into the alliance. I see a bunch of familiar faces. They're like, hey, Val, how you doing? I'm like, yo, dude, cool to see you again. I'm just kind of here to pick up this sword. I just paid Daz for it. A lot on it. Everyone passes, and then I see Valesti obtains an Algol. Ooh, that's burned into my memory forever. The yellow text going into green. An Algol. Mine. And then as I went on my journey of just like, I'm going to help new players. I'm going to go to Valkyrum Dunes and Quiffam Islands and Yatunga Jungle and, like the lower parts of Garliad Citadel and everything. I'm going to go be a hero to people and help them play the game. And the whole time, I'm going to be busting out that Algol, bro. I leveled up my greatsword solo in Sky fighting flamingos. I couldn't even kill him. I had to run inside I'd run inside and zone out because they would kill me. I would run out of NP, but I was so determined. I got an Algol. I'm gonna learn Spinning Slash, and then I did. I maxed my greatsword, and then I leveled Dark Knight later to get an Algol on Dark Knight. I used the Algol on my warrior, on my paladin, my Dark Knight, everything, man. I had a lot of cool toys in that game, you know? The Algol, I think that was my favorite weapon to use in that game. And that was Final Fantasy XI is my favorite game ever. You know, I have a lot of favorite games. Earthbound, Lufia 2, freaking Phantasy Star 4. You know, I have a lot of favorite games, but Final Fantasy XI, Valkyrie profile, just to add that. Final Fantasy XI is my favorite game ever. It helped me grow as a person, man. Not a lot of video games can do that for you. And my favorite time I really ever had in that game was busting out that Algol and just hitting things with Spinning Slash, and just realistically the best time of my life I ever had on my favorite game ever. I owe it to Dazusu, because I only had 4 million gil. That's why I was really hoping for that 50% discount. But like a 50% discount, yeah, that's the I have a crush on you, I'll give you a deal discount. That's what I was hoping for. But I was really humbled when he hit me with that 1.4 million. I have dyscalculia. I cannot even remember my own phone number. But I will always remember that 1.4 million gil for the Algol. I can't remember numbers, but I can remember that one because it meant so much to me. Like, Dazusu is responsible for my happiest time on my favorite game. Like, dang, man. But 1.4 mil? That's not the I like you, you're cool, I think you're attractive discount. That's the I love you, and I'm gonna basically just let you have this for free discount. You know, like that meant a lot to me. I'm getting a little older these days, you know, I forget a lot of things from my past, but I'll never forget Dazusu. Never forget. I love that guy. You know, dang, man. The Algol was my favorite thing in that game. I loved it. Like, fighting goblin smithies in Yatunga jungle, and like, you bust that triple attack off and you see their HP bar just disappear instantly. I'm always healing people and resin people, and like, I would craft pineapple juice for all the mages around people and just be like, yo, buy my pineapple juice for 1 gil from a bazaar. You know, I'm gonna talk about some real shit here, okay? Like, my whole life I didn't have any friends. Like, if you got this far, here you go, man. I'm at the elite 1337. I'm gonna tell you some real shit. I never had friends my whole life, like, ever. I was thrown around into a lot of different schools, and I just never had the ability to make friends. And so, like, growing up, video games were my friends, you know? Video games never left me. They were the only things I had any trust in, as sad as that is. So, like, human connection, human interaction, like, means a lot to me. It's really important to me. I never learned social skills growing up, and I just never had any friends. And just, I remember when people are kind to me. I remember when people do me good, you know? And, dang, I'm actually about to cry, man. You know? even though there's people that we don't talk to anymore. I still remember them. There's people that have, even if you've done probably just a small thing for me, even if you've ever just held the door open for me, I remember you. Because, like, a lot of my life was in homeschooling, so I just never had people around me. So anytime there's even some small amount, some modesum, some plank, quark, just a particle of human kindness, means a lot to me, because I never really had that growing up. So, like, played Final Fantasy 11 with a lot of people. I remember a lot of people from that game, but Dazusu, he's the short list. You know what I'm saying? He's. I love that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if his life was in danger, I would jump in to beat the fucking shit out of anything that would threaten him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that guy. He was really cool. I respect him. He did good to me, and I love him. I guess that's all I gotta say about him from my personal experience. When I was researching this video, I believe this warrants mentioning, I was looking up Blue Garter, and I found a recruitment thread for Dry Root when Dazusu was starting to start up his link shell. And there were so many people talking crap about, oh, this person stole a Mercurial Crystal from this person. And let me tell you, the real story of that is the person who had a Mercurial Crystal taken from him didn't even care. Because Mercurial Crystal went out of the meta. People didn't even use Dark Knights anymore at that point. It didn't matter. The price of the Crystal was dropping. That dude was done with the drama. He didn't want anything more to do with this person when Dazusu invited them, because Dazusu's motto was, I don't care about your past. I don't care what you've done. I care about what you do and the kind of person you are now. And quite frankly, that's the way Jesus Christ was. Jesus Christ didn't care about the way you were. He cares about the way you are and the way you're going to be. So I resonated with that, not on just a personal level, but even a spiritual level at that point. Like, Daz was like, look, I don't care what someone's driving a radio flyer wagon through my yard. But, like, anyway, a bunch of people were talking crap about him. They were talking crap about Dry Root and everything. And this is a very old thread from some time ago. Every single person that talked crap about Dazusu at this point is banned. They're all banned, every one of them. And yet all the accounts that would jump in and be like, hey, Daz is actually cool as heck, bro. His link shell's legit. He runs a tight and fair ship. And it's kind of sad that you guys are trying to be a detractor to him when he's one of the few good link shells left on Leviathan. All the people that defended Daz, they weren't banned. Every person that talked crap about him at this point, they're all banned. So, I think history should tell you something about that. Daz ran a good ship. He was a fair, honest person. Quite frankly, I think his heart was full of love for people. Even though he was strict, it's like that one song, Leader of the Band. Dazusu had a thundering velvet hand. And I love and respect him, and I'll never forget him.